And I like the ending, how the three finally came together and how they worked together to kill Coral and her sister and then Millie, how they teamed up to take down the Butcher. I like that a lot. It was fun at the end, like just the teamwork.
Yeah, it's funny because when I watched it the first time and the ending happened, like the immediate second that it happened, I was like, oh no, really? Are you bringing it back? Is this still? It was so quick that I changed my mind, from all of it because like it again, I liked how they kind of again went back to the Halloween homage because we haven't even talked about all the like
Oh
horror
gosh, so
homages
many.
and stuff. And I mean, there's a lot of Halloween in this, and that's a very Halloween thing. Like, yeah, Michael just can't die. So, like, he's always coming back and, like, that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, again, reverting back to the homage with him. But then, yes, I totally liked it that it was the three women in the house. Like, Dad's not there anymore. Like, kind of taking a stand, all three fighting him. That was really cool. And then, excellent final line. Excellent final line to a movie. That's just great. Like, it leaves you on a high. It
Mm-hmm.
really... Yeah, no, that's like a big old high five.
And Char just goes, wow, her sister finally stuck up for her. And I gotta say, Char walked into the house one time and she's like, this house smells like a Denny's. And there's nothing, do you know Denny's? I'm sorry if I don't know if you got that reference.
Denny's,
okay, cool.
Yeah, that was with the breakfast. Yeah, the breakfast, I think. Yeah.
I just,
she said.
But that sounds great. Like, I would have loved to have had that breakfast in high school. So when she said this smells like a Denny's, I'm like, that's amazing. Why? But I guess it also, you got to look at it as maybe Coral overcompensating. So she messed up. She became the mom on couch. And then she just makes a nice big breakfast in the morning. Does that make sense? So you kind of see it as, you messed up. So you made a big breakfast. Like, I'm kind of tired of this. I don't know if you read it like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think Char is like at that point where that's why I kind of would have liked to see a bit more of her. I know it's not her story, but it is a lot. Like, it feels like it's Millie's story, but then it's also her family story, because we've got a bit of the mom, but it feels like we didn't have enough of the older sis. Because, she definitely has problems with the way that her mom's dealing with it because I think they just probably don't talk about anything enough, really, They're kind of just like trying to Band-Aid, use Band-Aid. Band-Aid, what does that sound so weird now?
Put a Band-Aid over it?
Band-Aid. Band-Aid, what? That's not a word. But
it is now.
It is now. But yeah, so I feel like she's just critical about everything her mother's doing right now. Because, I mean, I also thought like, oh, so is Denny's bad? Because, I don't know. I know of Denny's. I've never been to a Denny's. I was like, is it bad? I know she's just saying it with an attitude because she's just like criticizing her mom. Like, mom can't do everything right. Which, I mean, in a way, she's not wrong because like lunging for the wine bottle all the time and kind of like trying to shelter your youngest isn't the
taking
best.
her to regional theater during homecoming. That's not a good look.
Yeah, it's not the best, but I mean, also shame. Like, I would have liked maybe like a scene with Char, just maybe to show like a perspective a bit more because I liked her character. I liked the big sis. I mean, listen, I am here for the sequel.
Oh,
I'm here for the sequel.
Because he's not dead. He'll come back. Blissfield Butcher's still... Ladola is still around. Blissfield Butcher's still alive.
You can have another serial killer. Like, I mean, why does it... It's not... It's... The Dola is not... The Dola is a thing on its own. It's not like the Blissfield Butcher's Dola. So, like...
All right, let's dreamcast
get someone else.
Let's dreamcast it. So, I want to see... Okay, Aubrey Plaza... Jack Black and Aubrey Plaza?
There we go. I mean, it's too easy for us.
Yeah.
It's too easy for us.
That'd be hilarious. She's switching...
High-rise for casting directors, Hollywood. High-rise.
I just think that'd be funny. She's like Aubrey Plaza's a serial killer who switches bodies with like a teenager boy. That'd be... They've never done that, have they? Guy and the woman and... Oh, Freaky Day just did that. Never mind. Yeah, do that. But a younger kid into like a grown woman. That'd be interesting. I don't know. I just want to see Aubrey Plaza in one of these movies killing people.
Yeah, or maybe like Yeah, no. Ooh, no, I'm drawing blank.
Wait, I have one more thing. What do you think about the introduction of Nyla and Josh when they're at school? Josh is talking about how, I want these people to get drunk so I can take advantage of their fluidity. And then
Yeah.
you have Nyla who is, they're both sort of telling Millie how to live. And I was talking to Megan about that, my wife, and she's like, yeah, who else would tell you that? It's almost like therapy. Who else would sort of get you out of your bubble? It was kind of odd though. My first reaction was like, man, like, they haven't gone through presumably what she's gone through, and they're telling her how to be. But I also think it's not bad advice. But it does seem like they sort of push her over a little bit, telling her what to do. And her sister takes jars from her hands and opens those up. Her mom takes her to this. And it seems like everybody has this, not control over her, but they just kind of tell her what to do or open the jars for her. Did you kind of pick up on that vibe?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I did feel like her friends was kind of trying to support her to not just like, hide away at home and like, but you are a catch, like Nyla tells her, you're a catch, you're good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't put yourself down like that. But I mean, I just saw it as like normal friend stuff. Like, oh no, come on, you must come out with us. Like,
That's fair.
I
No, you're right.
I did like the whole fact where Josh was like he said that whole thing, yeah, about like drunk, like straight guys, jocks or whatever, and Nyla was like, wow, that's a bit rapey. But then at the end, you had the drunk jock guy that actually pulled moves on Josh,
Mm-hmm.
which yeah, I like kind of liked that whole thing because the first time I heard that line, I was like, whoa. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I liked how they pushed it felt very realistic
Mm-hmm.
like in a lot of ways, like how people would talk. You've got your people like Nyla that'll say, dude, that's not actually a cool thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got the people that's like, they are progressive and they've got their own stuff going on, but they might not see it always from, a different perspective. Like Josh wouldn't necessarily understand where Nyla as a woman's coming from. And I just like that whole dynamic where it felt very real. Like, it's not these everyone's saying the right thing all the time vibe, because
Yeah.
that's irritating and feels preachy. But yeah, I like their dynamics. It was fun.
Yeah,
I thought it was fun.
it felt lived in, and I like that. I like the
Yeah.
photo of Josh and his mom in their house where they're back to back with the gigantic smiles. Did you see
Also,
that
I love
picture?
his mom.
Yeah.
I want more of it too.
Oh man,
His
that was
mom is a
fun.
hoot.
We're
She's
role
like,
playing.
Josh, you're not straight. You're a lot of things, but you're not straight.
The Blissfield Butcher laughed when he said that. Like they both
Yeah.
laughed.
Like, really?
Oh, and a funny story. Landon actually ended up buying. Let's see. Newton. He bought her a new dress that she had been eyeing on Etsy because he kept shoving socks in her mouth. So he felt bad for her. So she had been talking about this dress she liked. So he just went and bought it for her because she had to put up with having socks and duct tape all over her face. Not like they put a Velcro over the other end so it didn't rip off her face. But I thought that was nice that Landon bought her a dress for shoving a sock in her mouth so many times. Yeah. It's fun, right?
Christopher Landon, if you're listening to this, I've got some trauma from that opening scene, so I'll send you my Amazon wish list, and you can make it up to me anytime you're ready.
And how about that kitchen fight? I
I'm a
love
sucker for a kitchen fight.
I love that
it's one
kitchen.
of my favorites.
They throw the taters at him. And he's like, "Oh, really? Oh, I love it."
It's one of my favorites because it's like these kids and like Millie in this big giant body, and yeah, this is one of my it's one of my top three favorite kitchen fights. It's Freaky, Spy, and Deep Blue Sea, where a man fights a
Yeah.
shark.
Can't
That's my
argue with
three favorite kitchen fight scenes
can't argue with
ever.
that. You really can't. It's a
Yeah,
fun. I like Spy because it's a really good fight. Like the two of them
it's
are
so great.
excellent fighters and they use the props so well and it makes me happy. But I love the tater tot throw. I love them chasing through the kitchen and just him realizing her pronouns. It's
Pronouns.
it's her realizing her power in the butcher's body. It just
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun. I just love a good tater tot gag too. Just throwing the
And you
tater
know
tots.
what? Like, I mean, I hear, like, to go back to what you also said with people, like, kind of saying she wasn't really how she was in his body and stuff. But if you really think about it, I mean, in that kitchen fight, right? She didn't fight them. She was defending herself like through most of that. They were like knocking her with everything they could, spatulas and like, tater tots and like everything. It really took a while for her to actually become physical,
Mm-hmm.
which, yeah, because she wouldn't just be physical. It's not like her. So, no, I think there might be a little more subtlety to how they actually played that whole thing out that worked, that is actually realistic.
And I love how resolved it got so quickly resolved. That made me so happy that they did the dance, they did the handshake, and
Shake bitches.
and
So cute.
they rehearsed that on set, which makes me happy. The behind the scenes stuff showed Vince dancing with somebody. It kind of made me laugh. No, but I like that they got that out of the way quick, and then they were immediately on their side. And then you had the slowest car chase ever, which made me happy. And then also John Goodman, they wanted to use his mask at first, but he said no. And then Aaron Rodgers just went, "Of course, you can use my helmet. I don't care. That sounds like fun."
Oh, cool.
Oh, another cool story. So when she is dressed up as the Badger and is attacked, which is such a silly scene. I mean, just a mascot being chased. A beaver, yeah. And I like that the signs, too, are for, manure and hospice. I don't know.
Yeah!
That's so funny. But when, what was I going to say? Oh, when that was originally just going to be a football field. But Landon was like, I really want this temple. But he didn't think they would afford it because it's such a low budget picture. But he went ahead and just laid green screen down and had the actors do it anyway. And then he's like, I knew I would put it in later. He's like, but I did not ask for permission. I just went ahead and did it. So this guy knew he could get in trouble for it and had to cut other things in other places. But he still threw that down there to have that really cool visual effect of the Aztec temple. And I thought that was kind of a neat workaround. And I have a question for you. So these Blumhouse movies do allow creative control for the directors. And it appears that the directors do enjoy having that creative control. The issue is you have to cut out so much out of your script to fit the budget. If you have one bad day, you have to lose a day. You have to lose pages. So is it complete creative control? I guess you're getting your movie made, and you wouldn't normally get it made with a higher budget. So I guess to get it made for $6 million and cut out a decent chunk of stuff forces you to be creative, but I wouldn't say you have total creative control because you have to lose a lot. But I guess you get control over what you lose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, listen, so I went to study drama, and I specialized in scriptwriting and directing. So I did some directing, and one of the things that I loved about it immediately, because it just suited me very well, is that directing is all about problem solving. That is also a kind of a control, you can get control there. Because, listen, yeah, if you're going to lose a day, or whether it's being like all nasty and you need to make a plan, you need to make a plan. So, like, sure, you can like lose stuff there or cut stuff there, but it's still on you to, I mean, if you can find a solution, fantastic, but it's going to be on you. So I think, yeah, I do think you still have some control. There will be, I mean, times where there's just not, a viable solution available and you need to like make the hard decisions and stuff. But I think directing in general really leans into a lot of getting, like you said, like the creativity of it and the problem solving. And I feel like there is control in problem solving. That's why I like it. I feel like I'm in control of a problem because I'm trying to solve it or trying to find the best way to solve it. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And you have control over what you are cutting. Now, you have to cut stuff because you have to hit the budget, but you're not being told what to cut by producers. You, the director and the screenwriter.
Exactly.
And I'm sure there's a line producer on set as well. And the second AD, and you probably got to get the first AD on board too, because you can't just cut things and not tell a producer. That would be wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have control over the cuts. You have final cut. You have control. You're not getting frozen out. You don't have studio interference. So yeah, no, I think you're right. I guess you do have control, but you do have to sacrifice a lot for that control. But you probably couldn't. This movie probably couldn't have been made for $30 million. I don't think a studio would have shelled out $30 million for this.
No, I mean, why? Honestly,
yeah, it's stupid. I don't know why they don't make a Happy Death Day 2. It makes no sense. I don't get it. Just Give him 15 million. It'll make